that kick in here? All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your gentle flow and your deep stretch class. Y'all know me, it's Laura Beth. I'm going to use a couple of blocks and a strap today. If you don't have those things, you absolutely can find something else. It can even be like a towel, a t-shirt. It's just something that you're going to loop around your foot. So you want to grab that and have it handy. And then if you don't have blocks, that's fine. Like I always tell y'all, you can use 2 books. You just want whatever it is to be the same size, so the same height, so that if you are actually using them for support, one hand's not lower than the other, right? So just little things to think about. If you want to go ahead and cue up your music, and I'm going to have you start off on your backs. And if you would like to bring one of your blocks with you while you're down on your back, that would be great. And then take your time, go ahead and get comfortable. Allow for your low back to kind of root down into the ground. You can extend your legs forward if you want. You could also maybe come into a Supta Baddha Konasana if that feels better to you. And draw your heels in towards your sits bones. Let your knees hang comfortably open. You, of course, don't have to do that. It's just one of those things, if it feels good, go for it, right? And then relax your shoulders back and down away from your ears. Now your hands can rest down on the ground, or you can take one palm to your belly, one to your heart. Feel out kind of what feels the best energetically to get started. And then as you're here, knowing that there is a time and a place, right, for everything. But with your yoga, yes, there is sometimes a time to be uncomfortable, to sit with discomfort and maybe even negative sensations. That's part of the practice. It's part of teaching yourself. But I really feel like when we're moving into this kind of gentle, flowy stuff, search for the feel good, right? Like, let this be that practice that restores you, that kind of pulls it all back together. I tend to use these Friday mornings for kind of letting go of everything else that was already uncomfortable this week, right? I feel like we've all got plenty of that. So if you feel comfortable closing down your eyes, go ahead and do that. And relax your jaw. You can wiggle it from side to side. And then just let it go slack. Let your face be soft. Take a deep inhale. Let your belly expand. The breath travels up. Your rib cage goes out in all 4 directions. Your lungs to full capacity. And then you exhale, let the breath exit. It empties, it goes back down, and everything kind of closes back down as your navel draws in and up towards your spine. Now inhale. You might notice your tailbone kind of lengthens as you breathe in and your rib cage expands. And then exhale to press it back down, to go to empty, to relax and release. Take 2 more just like that. Inhale. Maybe the breath goes all the way up in between your clavicles to your throat. And then exhale to let that go. One more inhale. And exhale. Now inhale right here. And then exhale, turn your face to the right. So take your right ear down to the ground, your right temple, stretching through the left side of your neck. Relax your left shoulder from your ear. You might even roll it around. And then inhale, come back through center. And then you exhale, take your left ear down to the ground, take your gaze to the left, relax your shoulders down, and breathe. And then you inhale, slowly come back through center. You can use your hands if you want. Let them come to the outer thighs, and then exhale, draw your knees together if they're still open, like the cover to a book. Now you'll heel toe your feet to about hip width distance apart, especially if you had your legs open. Give your low back a moment to rest down into the mat. Feel your spine root all the way, the whole length of your spine. Now look around. If you were in just opening Shavasana, go ahead and bend your knees and bring your feet to the ground. Grab your block. Now, normally in a gentle class, I would not do core warming as much. This is going to be very brief, but just enough because we're waking up those areas that, even in a gentle class, you need to have some stability, some, balance, right? So take a block and give it a little squeeze gently in between your thighs. Now, if you don't have a block, it's your rolled up towel, it's anything at all, or just skip that part, right? Now let your low back root down to the ground. So there's a slight tucking of your pelvis. Draw your navel towards your spine, and then let all 4 points of your 2 feet root down into the mat. Your knees are pointing up. Bring your hands behind your head. Let your elbows fall open. Now redraw the navel to the spine, your low back flat. Baby squeeze of your inner thighs towards your block. Now inhale, let your shoulders lift up and off of the earth. We're not here for very long. Exhale, just pulse it up here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you inhale, let your head and shoulders come back down. Good. Now let your hands come down to the earth. As you exhale, roll your shoulders slightly underneath you. Your palms face down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips up into the sky. You're still slightly squeezing your block. If you don't have one, don't worry. Just keep kind of drawing your inner thighs towards one another. So you're taking a bridge pose here. Press down into the 4 corners of both feet. Try to relax the superficial muscles of your glutes. Take one more inhale. Lift your hips a little higher. Feel your hamstrings, your inner thighs, your quads fire up. And then exhale, roll yourself down 1 vertebra at a time, which is actually more challenging than it sounds. Good. We're going to just do that one more time through. Bring your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, round your shoulders up and off of the earth. Pull your belly button down. And then keep breathing as you pulse up here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, let your head and shoulders come to the ground. Exhale, drop your palms down next to your hips. Roll your shoulders back. Now inhale, I want you to curl your tailbone so that you're lifting your pubic bone towards your navel. And try to peel your low back off 1 vertebra at a time, nice and slow. So it's kind of like a hip curl, right? Like a bridge curl. And then lift your hips up into the sky. Roll your shoulders maybe slightly underneath you. Hold here for just 3. Good, y'all. For 2. And 1. Take your inhale. Now the same thing. Try to go like middle thoracic spine down first, 1 vertebra at a time. Feel the articulations of your vertebrae. They go just 1 little piece at a time. And then when you hit that spot, usually right before your lumbar spine where it's like, it's all going to come down at once. But can you curl the top of your pubic bone up and still go 1 at a time? Good, y'all. Now release the block out from in between the legs. Let it come over to the side. Open your arms out like a T, palms face down. Separate your feet a little bit more, and then windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Nicely done. Breathe. And then grab onto your strap. Come right back through center. Hug both knees in towards your chest. And then let your left leg go long. So So now you've just got the right knee. Roll your shoulders back and down. Flex your left foot once it gets there. Oh man, one thumb fell down. Flex your left foot once it gets there. And then, sorry guys, I see y'all now. Grab onto your strap. And then root, let me get that all settled. There we go. Grab onto the strap and you can loop it around your right foot, okay? So once you've looped the strap around your right foot, extend your right leg. Perfect. And roll your shoulders back again. So you have a tendency sometimes for the shoulders to crawl up towards the ears here. Your left leg is still long. Then allow for your right heel to kind of reach towards the sky. Your left heel is rooted, your toes flexed back, navel towards your spine. And then you can draw your right leg in just a little bit more. So we haven't done hamstring opening yet. So, don't go too deep. You can keep a soft or a deep bend to your right knee. None of this has to be perfect, y'all. It just has to be honest, right? So show up. Take one more inhale here. Now you can stay. Or as you exhale, you can open your right leg out to the right and turn your gaze to the left. Good. Relax your right shoulder from your ear. Breathe here. Pull your navel in towards your low back. And then as you inhale, let your right leg come back. Switch the straps over to your left hand. And then exhale, let your right leg cross over your body to the left. Your right hand comes down to the ground. So you're going to get a spinal twist here. Maybe you turn your gaze to the right as your foot goes to the left. Just breathe. And then inhale, come right back through center. And then slowly remove the strap from your right foot and let your right leg go long. You might notice that once both legs are down, the right leg feels longer than the left. And then hug your left knee in, interlace your fingers around your shins, roll your shoulders back, flex your right toes. Now as you're ready, loop your strap around the ball of your left foot. And then really root down through the right heel, extend your left leg long, let the sole of your foot flex towards the sky. So the left heel is kind of leading here. Your low back is down on the ground, relax your shoulders. You can bend into your left knee deeply if that feels better. So you want to feel this in the belly of your left hamstring, not in your gluteal fold where your hamstring and your glutes connect, not in your left knee, right? In the belly, so right here. Good, y'all. Take one more inhale. You can stay here. Or straps into the left hand. Exhale, take your leg out to the left. Maybe you turn your face to the right. Keep breathing here. Good, y'all. And on your inhale, bring your left leg back to the sky. Both straps now into the right hand. And then exhale, keep flexing through your left foot. Draw your left leg over to the right. Your left hand is out like a T, palm face down. And maybe you gaze to the left as your foot falls to the right. Breathe. Oof, my back popped. On the inhale, slowly come back through center. Release your strap. Let it fall over to the side. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Now let your big toes come to touch and your hands come to your kneecaps. So this is like drawing circles with your knees on the ceiling, but it's actually meant to rotate the ball and socket joint of your hip. So we get some space in the low back, and we also let the body know we're about to use it, right? So as you inhale, let your knees separate and move out to the side edges of the room. And as you exhale, everything draws back through center. Next time you come through center, switch the direction. Good. And it's okay if it creates kind of like a crunchy sound. That's what usually happens to me whenever I go in the opposite direction. All right, y'all. Inhale back to center. Exhale for a quick happy baby. Peace fingers to your big toes. Knees towards your underarms. Thighs parallel to the ground. Kind of rock side to side. All right, y'all. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And then as you inhale, lift your hips. And then exhale, keep your low back rounded, but rock forward. Just tap your toes. So what we're doing here, get a little supple sensation across your spine. Roll your shoulders back, so spinal rocks and rolls. And then on your last one, come forward. You'll have to shimmy back a bit. And find your box pose. And then allow for your hips to stack on top of your knees. And then your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists all stack one on top of the other. I've got some, my mat is a little thin, so I'm going to slide this underneath my left knee. All right, y'all. Spread your fingers out wide. Now with your inhale, let your soft belly drop down towards the ground. Lift your chin and lift your tail. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Roll out, dome out your upper back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail. And then inhale, pass back through your cow pose. Let your heart press forward. There's a sway to your low back. And then exhale, press the earth away. Separate your shoulder blades. Drop the crown of your head down. Tuck your chin. Now inhale. Let's just move at your own pace today, right? So even if your inhale and your exhale aren't exactly as mine are, I want you to stay with what is working in your body and just start to move naturally, right? So there's this term in Sanskrit called sahaja, and it's this spontaneous, like you just listen to the feedback of your body and you move accordingly, right? So it's not willy-nilly just throwing your limbs around, but it becomes this kind of, oh, I feel something good over here, so I'm going to slide through that. I need to hold here because it feels like a stretch is happening, and then maybe I come and roll this way, rotating maybe through the shoulder girdle, whatever it is. So you can move out of that vertical plane of cat and cow, and you can start to roll through the shoulders, the wrists, the hips, even the knees. You can shift forward and backward if you need that. So close your eyes and just move, right? With no direction from a teacher. Just listen to your inner teacher. I know it sounds all cliche and hippity-dippity, but it's true, right? Nobody knows how you feel except for you. So move that way. All right, now when you're ready, come back into your neutral spine. Bring your big toes to touch, your knees out to the side edges of your mat. Inhale here for length, and then exhale, drop your hips back towards your heels and walk your fingertips forward. Let your forehead come down to the ground, and then maybe you seal your palms and drop your thumbs towards the nape of your neck. Breathe. Let your hands come back down to the ground. Inhale, shift back into your box pose. So bring your knees underneath your hips. Leave your hips over your knees. And then exhale, walk your hands forward and drape your chest down to the ground. So first krama, your forehead might come down to the earth, right? So this is your anahata asana, your puppy pose. So let your forehead come down. You keep lifting your hips. Good. Now if your chest and your upper back feel open today, you might bring your chin to the ground and gaze forward. Don't force it, don't push or pull, right? Just be there. slide your hips back towards your heels for a moment, and then roll your forehead from side to side. All right. So inhale, press back up into your box pose, and then stay right here for your exhale. Inhale, extend. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. Extend your right leg long behind you. Dial your right pinky toe down for a moment. So I want you to feel a difference here in the movement that we're going to take. Right now, your right hip is internally rotated. So point your right pinky toe down. Now with your inhale, lengthen your right foot back. Now exhale, externally rotate your right hip, bend your right knee. Take your heel towards your left glute and let your right hip open towards the right. And then circle it around a little bit. Good. Go in the opposite direction as well. And then extend your right leg with your inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward. You might lift your left knee and slide it back ever so slightly. And then your right knee is tracking the heel or the ankle. And then with your inhale, float your arms up overhead, your shoulders over your hips. Stay for your exhale. Press into the inner and outer arches of your right foot. Good. Now inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. On the exhale, drop your thumbs down to the nape of your neck. Let your elbows point up. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. Now with your inhale, let your chest lift. There might be a slight arch to the upper back, but keep your belly pulled in and up towards your navel, towards your spine, excuse me. So zipping that little space between your navel and your pubic bone back. Take one more inhale. Maybe you kind of lift your armpits, right? Lift your elbows. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Curl up your back toes and straighten out through your right leg. You're more than welcome to keep your left knee down, right? Perfect. Now pull your right hip back, your left hip forward. Let your collarbones reach towards your right ankle and press down into the big toe ball mound of your right foot. Good. Perfect, y'all. Now completely exhale here. Inhale, bend back into your right knee and take your right arm up to the sky. Again, your left knee can be down if that feels better to you, right? Inhale here to stack your right shoulder on top of the left, and maybe your gaze goes towards your right fingertips. And if you need a little bit more, you exhale, wrap your right forearm around the small of your back. Let your fingertips search for your left hip crease, and you continue to rotate your right clavicle up. Watch your right knee. It's going to try to splay out to the side. Use your inner thigh to keep it stacking over your shin. Now inhale, reach your right fingertips back to the sky. Exhale, drop your right hand down to the ground. Inhale, bend your right knee, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, step your left foot to meet the right at the top of your mat. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Draw the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back. Heel to your feet to about hip width distance apart. And then exhale, bend your knees, drape your chest over your thighs. And grab onto opposite elbows. Let your head hang completely down. So ragdoll, you can kind of start swaying side to side if you'd like. Good. Let your head hang completely down. Feel a release through the back side of your body. Not straining the lumbar spine because you're bending slightly into your knees. Good. Now come right back through center. Let everything hang down. And then you inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Relax your shoulders back and down. Now interlace all but your index finger. And then inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. Draw your navel to your spine. Exhale, bump your hips to the right and take your fingertips to the left for a side body stretch. Relax your right shoulder from your ear. Press actively into both feet. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bump your hips to the left. Take your fingertips to the right. Really get a stretch here. Watch the legs, right? It's easy to start to really press into one foot over the other. Inhale, take both arms back to the sky. Exhale, let your hands come down to the base of your spine. Let your fingertips point down and the heel of your palm presses in towards your lumbar spine. Roll your shoulders back. Cricket wing your elbows back so you already feel a stretch on the front side body across your chest and your shoulders. Now, draw your navel towards your spine. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest, your collarbones. Lift your gaze. Press your hips slightly forward. Stay for your inhale. And then exhale. Slowly bring your shoulders back over your hips. Slide your hands down the back side of your body and forward fold. Let the crown of your head hang down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Step yourself back. And then let your knees come back down to the earth. You're in your box pose again. All right. Roll your shoulders back. And then inhale. Let your left leg extend long behind you. Lift it up. Glance back. As you exhale, really dial your left pinky toe down. So I want you to feel that difference in your low back, in your hip, and your leg, right? Now with your inhale, press your left heel long behind you. And then exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, yawn it open, feel the difference, right? So you're trying to stack everything, take your left heel towards your right glute, but watch your shoulders. Good. And then you can circle it out a little bit, right? And make sure you go in both directions. And inhale, extend your left leg long. And exhale, step your left foot forward. Take your time. Lift your right knee and slide it slightly behind you. And then once you feel stable, zip your belly in and up. Inhale, stack your shoulders over your hips. Reach your arms up overhead. Stay for your exhale. So your left hip is pulling slightly back, your right hip slightly forward. Inhale, reach with your fingertips. Let your floating ribs get a little bit higher off of your hips. And then exhale, drop your thumbs towards the nape of your neck. Let the back of your skull kind of find that little space at the base of your thumbs, right? Now with your inhale, you keep lifting up and out of your hips. You might feel your upper back arching slightly. So you feel like you're pulling your elbows and your armpits to the sky. Breathe. Take one more inhale where you lift maybe just a little bit higher. Now release your thumbs from the nape of the neck, reach your arms high. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee, and then straighten your left leg and shift your hips back. So I'm getting a stretch in my right calf by lifting my right knee, right? So instead of a half split, it's a pyramid. So you pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. Slide your navel towards your left thigh bone. This is what's going to help level and square your hips off naturally, right? And then the more you can press down into the big toe ball mound of your left foot, the more release you feel on the left calf muscle, right? You can have blocks on either side of your left leg here. You make this work for you. Good, y'all. Relax your shoulders down. Completely exhale. Now inhale, bend back into your left knee. Let your right hand stay rooted to the ground and float your left arm up to the sky. So you're stacking your left shoulder on top of the right. Eventually, maybe, right? That's pretty deep twist. So if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Your gaze, your drishti could follow your left hand. Could it be your right eyeball that finds your left fingers, right? Just little things that are going to stretch you a little bit more. Take one more inhale here. If you want to take the half bind, exhale, wrap your left forearm around the small of your back. Let your fingertips look for your right hip crease. Good, y'all. Breathe. Your right knee can always come down. Now inhale, float your left fingertips back towards the sky. And then exhale, drop your left hand down. Inhale, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, step your right foot to meet the left. You're at the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Take your feet about hip width distance apart. And then loop peace fingers around your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bend your elbows, drape your chest over your thighs, and drop your head down. Breathe. Good, y'all. Notice what you're feeling. And release your fingers from your toes. Completely exhale. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. All right. So from here, drop your elbows out to the side body so they're sliding next to your rib cage and your palms are face up. Root down into the four corners of your left foot. So we've done this before. Let's just get meditative and move with our breath. So when you're ready, let your palms face forward and your fingertips down so your pinkies are by your IT band. And as you inhale, lift your right knee, lift your palms. And then exhale, press your palms and your right foot forward. Inhale to draw it back in, bend both the knee and the elbows. Exhale, step your right foot down and press your palms. All of your weight into the right foot. Inhale, lift your left knee, lift your palms. Exhale, press your left foot forward and your hands. Inhale, draw it back, bend all. Exhale, step your left foot down and press your hands. Inhale, lift your right knee, lift your hands. Exhale, press them forward. Inhale, draw it back. And then exhale, place it down. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, press it forward. Inhale, bend your knee and your elbows. Exhale, place it down. Inhale, right knee lifts. Exhale, press it forward. Inhale, pull back. And then exhale, step it down. Inhale, lift your left knee. Exhale, press it forward. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, step it down. Last one each side. Inhale, right knee. Exhale, press it all forward. Inhale, come right back through. And then exhale to step it down. Inhale, lift your left knee. Exhale, extend forward. Inhale, draw back in. And exhale, step it down. Bring your feet about hip width distance apart. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Step your feet back. You're in kind of a downward facing dog. I was going to say high plank. You're in a downward facing dog. So allow for your heels to feel heavy, whether they actually touch the ground or not. We're not concerned with that. We just want them to feel heavy while you lift your hips. You can even roll to the balls of your feet for a moment and bend your knees deeply to get your tailbone to lift towards the sky. And then maybe you let your heels feel heavy again. So my rib cage is actually touching my thighs. Awesome, y'all. Now inhale, float your right leg up to the sky, nice and slow. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. And then exhale, let your left heel go flat. Bend your right knee, you're in a warrior two. Let your shoulders soften from your ears. Your gaze follows your right fingertips. Now we've already worked a little bit of balance, so let that kind of continue here, right? Building a little bit of heat in your legs, it's all good. Now flip your right palm. Your gaze is going to go to the pool of your right palm, and it doesn't move. It doesn't go anywhere else. Completely exhale here for a moment. Now inhale, straighten your right leg and bring your palms up overhead. Your gaze is at the pool of your right palm. Seal them up overhead. And then exhale, bend your right knee, open your arms back out. Inhale, straighten your right leg, lift your palms. Exhale, warrior two. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, straighten, lift. Exhale to bend your right knee and to open. Last one. Inhale, straighten and lift. Zip your belly up. And exhale to bend and to open. Let your palms face back down. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, turn your right toes towards the long edge of your mat. Now both feet are going to point slightly to the left. Bend your left knee. Now your hands can come down onto a block. You're in a high skandasana, so a high side lunge. I want your crown and your tailbone to ultimately be in the same line here. So moving the toes slightly towards the left can help take some tension and pressure out. Especially your left knee, you want the knee, the ankle, and the toes to all be pointing in the same side, in the same direction. Breathe here. Now if you want, you could lift and start to move side to side, or you can just stay there and hold the left side. Whatever it is that feels more appropriate to you. To make sure that your knees and your toes are doing the same thing, right? Good, and then we're all gonna come back to this left side. So bend into your left knee. Take your right hand down to the ground. You could turn your right fingertips towards the back of your mat if that feels better on your right shoulder. And then lift your left arm up to the sky. Gaze to your left fingertips, breathe. Take 1 more inhale. And then exhale, let your left hand come down. Straighten your left leg as you inhale. And then exhale, walk yourself back towards the top of your mat. Hands to the inside of your right foot. And again, you can soften your left knee down here. So you're in a low lizard lunge. Pull your heart forward. Roll your shoulders back. Just breathe here for a little bit. Make sure you zip the pit of your belly up, especially if you feel anything around your sciatic nerve, your low back. If you notice you start to sag and drop, it can pull on one side of your low back. So you definitely want to still zip the pit of your belly in so you're supporting all of that space. If you want more, take your right toes out to like 1 or 2 o'clock. You can roll out to the outer edge of your right foot. You can come down to your forearms or to blocks. Just breathe wherever it is that you are. We're not in a rush to get anywhere. And then slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Take your right knee back on top of the heel. Heel to your right foot towards the center of your mat. And then just keep sliding it all the way over towards the left side of your mat for your half pigeon. So if you would prefer to do this on your back, absolutely go into your reclined variation. Otherwise, glance back. You want your left leg to lengthen from your hip. Inhale, lengthen your spine. You could also take your double pigeon here if you prefer. Exhale, drape yourself over your right leg. So your right foot is slightly flexed. And your shin can be anywhere up to parallel to the top of your mat, or your heel all the way in towards your pelvis. Your arms can reach forward, they can reach out or back. So you just do you, right? And breathe here. You can close down your eyes. It's raining softly here, so just let that kind of soothe you, right? so that you can lift your chest. Now roll slightly over towards the right. You're going to face the long edge of your mat and bring your right foot towards your left inner thigh. And if that's a transition that doesn't work for you, just get here, right? It's all good. I want you to be sitting on your sits bones, your left leg out to a diagonal, your left toes flexed, and the sole of your right foot is pressing in towards your left inner thigh. Now once you get there, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, let your left forearm come down and towards your left calf. And then reach your right arm up and over. So getting into a right side body stretch. Keep your right hip rooted to the ground. Breathe. Relax your right shoulder from your ear. Good, y'all. And on your inhale, slowly come back up. On the exhale, rotate over your left leg. Your right hand can reach for your left foot. Relax your shoulders from your ears. And now you might be feeling this more like in the low back on the right side and not so much for just the right side body. All right, y'all. Inhale, bring your shoulders back up nice and slow. Whew. And then as you exhale, bring your hands back to the top of your mat. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Lift your right knee and step yourself back to your downward facing dog. Again, if those kinds of transitions just don't feel great, find one that works in your body. The transitions are important, but they don't have to be exactly what works in someone else's body. So as long as you're doing it mindfully and piece by piece, that's all that matters, and that your breath can support the movement that you're doing. Now we're going to just take all of that on the second side, and then we take it home, right? So inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. Take your time. Exhale, step your left foot all the way forward. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. And then stay for your exhale for a moment. Inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And then exhale, let your right heel go flat and open yourself up to warrior two on the left side. All right, so from here, your knee tracks your heel or your ankle. Your arms are open out to a T. Your shoulders soften down. Your palms, go ahead and flip them up, right? Your drishti goes to the pool of your left palm, and it never leaves. So go ahead and stare right there. Completely exhale as you come down. And then inhale, straighten and lift. And exhale, bend your left knee, open your arms. Inhale to straighten and to lift. And exhale to bend and to open. Last two, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let your palms face back down. Inhale, straighten your left leg. And then exhale, turn your left toes towards the long edge of your mat. Now you might turn all 10 toes kind of slightly towards the right. And then bend into your right knee. Let your hands come down to the ground. And lengthen the crown of your head forward and your tailbone back. And notice if like your left hip drops or lifts really high. Mine actually lifts a lot, so I have to kind of drop it down and lift to the right. Good, y'all. With the crown of your head, reach forward. And same thing, you can just stay right here, or if you need that movement, you can kind of go side to side. Maybe leave your toes just pointing out and you move. If you need to find some stillness and just stay and breathe, do that. Right? Relax your brows and your jaw. Now eventually we all meet back over here, right knee bent. Let your left hand come down. Now you can turn your left fingertips towards your right foot if that's going to feel better in your left shoulder. And then you inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Breathe. Maybe your gaze follows your right hand. Just stay where you are. Take one more inhale. exhale, drop your right hand down. Inhale, straighten both legs. Turn your toes back towards the long edge of your mat. And then exhale, just walk yourself to the top of your mat with both hands inside of your left foot. Inhale, bend into your left knee. Exhale, soften your right knee down to the ground. So now you're in your low lizard on the left side. And you might stay right here, you know? I definitely want you to breathe here for a moment without doing anything else, so that you feel the areas where you might need to draw your navel in, roll your shoulders back, do all of those things, take care of the things. And then if all of that is working, you could then lift your left toes, turn them out to 10 or 11 o'clock, roll to the outer edge of your left foot, splay open your knee. You can come down to your forearms. You can do any of those things that you did on the first side that feel like the appropriate space here on the second side. Good, y'all. Just a couple more breaths here. And then you'll slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift your left knee back over your heel. Heel toe your foot to the center of your mat and then all the way over. And come into your half pigeon or onto your back for your supine or double pigeon. If you're in your half with me, your right leg extends long behind you. Flex into your left foot and try to get your right hip to be heavy. So the right hip pulls forward, left hip back. Lengthen your spine with your inhale. And then exhale to melt yourself down. Arms can take any shape that feels right. Taking your fingertips back, so your arms down by the side body, is going to intensify what's happening on your left leg. So if you need more, that's where you go. Relax your brows and your jaw. Allow yourself to just be here in this space. And then slowly bring your hands back underneath your chest. Inhale to lift your shoulders. And then as you exhale, you roll over towards the left so that you can face the long edge of your mat. I'm going to flip around so that I'm not putting my back to you. And you want your right leg to go out to the diagonal and the sole of your left foot towards your right inner thigh. Flex your right toes. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, let your right hand come down to the inner calf. And then reach your left arm up and over. Get that deep side body stretch on the left side. Breathe in. Know that you're breathing in. And breathe out. And know that you're breathing out. Good, y'all. Relax your shoulders from your ears. You don't have to carry the weight of the world there, right? I know sometimes we think we do. Good. Now inhale, bring your shoulders back over your hips, your arms up over your head. Exhale, rotate to the right and then drape your chest over your right leg and reach your left hand towards your right foot. I don't care if it gets there, but reach in that direction so that you get the low back on the left side stretch. Relax your shoulders from your ears and breathe. It's all good. And then slowly bring your shoulders back over your hips. Awesome. Take your hands towards the top of your mat. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Press into your palms. Lift your left knee. Find your downward facing dog. And pedal out your feet. Take an inhale. Slowly come down onto your hands and your knees. And then cross your feet at the ankles and sit back on your heels as you exhale. This moment here, if you're not to the last song on the playlist, I would go ahead and switch it to that. Sorry, let's do that a few minutes later start. It's a little skewed. And then extend both of your legs forward. Move all of your stuff out of the way. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. With your exhale, drape your chest over your thighs. Let your hands find your feet. Relax your shoulders back and down. So Paschimottanasana, you can bend both knees. You don't have to. Pull your chest forward. This is your inhale. Melt yourself down over your legs as you exhale. Good, y'all. Now inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips. And then nice and slow as you exhale, come down onto your backs. Once you get there, bring your knees in towards your chest. And then open your arms out to a T. And then drop your knees to the right and turn your gaze to the left. So any supine twist is fine here. So if you have a different one that feels better in your body, you can totally do that. Try to keep both shoulders flat. At this point, maybe even the eyes are closed down. On your inhale, bring one knee back through center at a time. And as you exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right. Let both shoulders stay down. Gaze to the right. Relax your jaw. Relax your brows. Notice how you soften and relax through the belly a little. The twisting becomes more accessible. And then on your inhale, one knee at a time, come back through center. With your exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Bring your forehead up to your knees. Take your inhale here. And then exhale, extend your legs long. Let your feet hang open, your arms down by the side body for Shavasana. If there's a different shape that would feel better for you, feel free to do that. Your arms can come down, palms face up. Your feet can come in if you choose. Close down your eyes. Allow for the bottom side of your body to feel heavy, to feel rooted and grounded. But the top side is light and weightless and floating. And rest. you need us to be here a little bit longer, please just tune me out and stay right where you are. There's no rush, there's no hurry. But if you are ready to exit your practice, begin to deepen your breath, to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your inhale, you'll take your arms up overhead and find your full body stretch. And on the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. You roll over to the right or press up right away into your comfortable cross-legged sit, your Sukhasana. Your arms can kind of come down, hands on your knees, or they can rest in your lap, so you choose. Roll your shoulders back and down. Take that final moment to be grateful for your practice, for the fact that you have a practice to show up to, right? This is a practice that can take us through a lot of life's ups and downs if we let it. It teaches us how to do the things here on these four walls so that we do them more gracefully outside of them, right? So thank you all so much for being here, for taking time for yourself. It's important. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And I know it's hard. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Peace be with each and every one of you.